You know, Jesse's gonna hate this, right?
Oh, this part right here. Oh man, she don't even know what we're doing. All right, here we go. So it seems Hollywood has done it again. Welcome to the Fighting Couch Potatoes. I'm Kadawfi Crush, and I'm joined by my boy Liquid Gold Steve.
Bio boosted Mark Hamill. My fucking ass. What was this piece of monkey crap on the side of the goddamn road that's been dead for 4 fucking weeks? What was that?
So today, we're here to talk about The Guyver. Now, before we really get started into The Guyver is a live action movie based on an anime manga by the name of The Guyver. This is its first live action adaptation, and stars Mark Hamill, which is why we called it the bio boosted Mark Hamill. This is another one of the movies where Hollywood pretty much did a pretty shit job on bringing to life beloved anime / manga. The Guyver itself, the anime, the manga, it's about a young boy named Sho. He accidentally winds up with some alien technology in his hands that essentially gives him a bio-boosted armor. It makes him capable of destroying and killing hideous monsters, blowing up buildings. It essentially boosts a 16-year-old boy 100-fold. Now, in this world, the Guyver, the reason why such a thing exists, why there's monsters, there's an ancient lore of the Guyver's world. The aliens came down to Earth and created humans. They created humans in order to create the next version of humans, to evolve them further into zoanoids. The zoanoids are these monsters that the humans can become. It takes a special genetic tweaking for a normal human being to become a zoonoid, but each human has the possibility of becoming different types of zoonoids, and even further beyond, with more experimentation, we can tweak those types of zoonoids even further. The way it's set up is that these aliens created these beasts and then also created Guyver units. These Guyver units, like I said, can take a human being and boost them 100-fold. It gives them a crazy little armor. They kind of look like a mixture of like Batman and what's his name? Not Kaneko Man, but the Ultraman. Looks like a mixture of like Ultraman and Batman with like a bio-y kind of suit.
I was thinking Iron Man and because it's like a suit. So, and it fully covers up. I have fucking semantics. Continue on, Gadolfi. I'm a fucking idiot.
I was thinking Iron Man because it's a suit. Batman wears a suit. Ultraman wears a suit.
Well, like I've never seen Ultraman, so
you know what Ultraman looks like.
No. Let me look it up. Yes, Ultraman, Batman. I can see what you're talking about as the suit of the Guyver.
Yeah. So essentially, we follow this young boy going on this wild adventure, against this evil corporation called Kronos. And Kronos is responsible for all the zoonoids in the world right now. They've been masquerading as a giant corporation for a very long time. I believe it's something like hundreds of years or something like that in the manga. So at the time when we get started, the Zoonoids are looking to take over. They're looking to take over the world. What their plan is, they're going to put Zoonoids in pretty much every seat of government in the world and create a world of pretty much Zoonoids. But they were the ones who also found the Guyver unit, and it was heading its way back to the corporation where we have our Zoa Lord. So the Guyver units are being taken to the Zoa Lord Richard Gyo in the Japanese branch. That was in the anime. So essentially what we get here when we actually pick up in this live action adaptation of the movie, it starts off real similar to how the anime starts off, with the doctor running away with the Guyver unit, trying to take it away from the Kronos company, and being chased down by Kronos goons. Now, Steve, when we watch this movie, we catch the Kronos goons chasing down this little doctor fellow. And when you're watching it, they're talking about like all this crazy shit about the Guyver unit and about Kronos, and you haven't really learned to like understand what the fuck's actually going on here yet. Like when the movie kind of kicks off. Yeah. You
That's
just
the beginning of the movie.
right. You just kind of get like this scene happening. What happens in this scene overall?
Overall, in this scene, it was the doctor running away, getting caught in a turnpike or like a underpass by the goons. What was it? Spike, Weber, and what was the three names? Spike, Weber, and Lisker? The dude, the real bald dude.
Lister.
Lister?
Lister.
Oh, I thought it was Lisker. But yeah, the three goons of, what was it? Dr. East was the bad guy in this movie? Or was it Gil?
Richard Gyo.
Was it he?
Yeah.
Hey, you lying.
He's the Zoa Lord.
The big dude?
Richard Gyo. He's the Zoa Lord.
That movie.
Not the big dumb bald guy.
I know.
Yeah, but
No, I was talking about the dude that was like had the mind control telepath and shit. Like, oh, okay, the weird dude. Oh, that guy. Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck, that guy was weird. That guy was like, is he like that in the anime?
what?
Richard Gere, is he the same
No,
way?
he real deal Holyfield.
He ain't that creepy and weird like that.
No, not at all.
Okay,
Smelling your feet. No, I ain't.
that was weird.
That nigga smell your gym socks.
That was a weird adaptation. But in the overview of the scene, yes, because I've watched at least 3 episodes of the Guyver anime. Didn't watch all of it. Did 3 episodes, and that was it. Then didn't interest me in the time, but hopefully through the next movie, because this movie was bad, and the anime, I hope it really is good. I really hope it's good. But it did start out like the anime, and he did kind of get jumped, but it was more like the forest. And he was supposed to meet Mark Hamill, the detective, Max Reed. That's a name, right?
Detective Max.
No, it'd be Detective Reed, you jackass.
Nope, Detective Max.
Why did they get Mark Hamill to not be the Guyver?
So
that's
I'm gonna give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, all right? So Mark Hamill had played Luke Skywalker 3 times, right? And that was like his big role. But everybody knows Luke Skywalker's a little bitch. Everybody knows Luke Skywalker is a little bitch. Everybody knows he's sweet and innocent hearted. And after that last movie with the teddy bear fight, I mean, you know.
What last movie with the teddy bear fight?
The last Star Wars movie with the teddy bear fight.
I don't watch Star Wars.
Then why'd you ask? Now, why are you riding Mark Hamill's meat so bad if you don't know nothing about no Star Wars?
You don't have to like him for just the Star Wars movies.
That's all he does. No, that's not all he does.
That's not all he does.
But so at the time when this movie had come out, okay, Mark Hamill was really only known for a very small amount of things in Star Wars. So like to kind of change his perception and to show like he had matured, A lot of actors do this, especially actors who played like more innocent roles for a period of time.
Feel like a
They'll
serious
they'll
role.
do a more serious role. And I mean, okay, a transition. This was actually a good idea for a transition. I'm sure on paper this movie was going to be the shit. I'm sure. Because I mean, think about it. At the time, no, you've never seen a movie anything like this. So at the time, Mark Hamill getting into a movie like this, again, on paper, this shit probably sounded amazing. There's gonna be monsters and a bio Batman kind of guy running around slicing shit up. There's gonna be martial arts. It's gonna be a little bit more down to earth, literally. Um, and we got a big crazy story to tell, something you've never heard from anybody before. I'm sure any actor who needed a image change would have been more than happy to sign on for a cool movie like that, especially still in the sci-fi realm, which he was, kind of familiar with. So like
Yeah.
some of his fans would get to see him, in a different role. Not so much the main hero, but the cool detective trying to solve the case.
Good jump, bad movie.
Yeah, it just didn't pan out all that well. What I was getting at when I asked you what happened in the scene, more so was what happened in the scene. Essentially, when the doctor gets caught by the goons, he he gets back into a corner and is like, fuck it. And he transforms into a zoonoid. This is the first time you get to see a zoonoid. And when you see the goons, you kind of feel like something's up with them. They might be some of those creatures that the beginning of the movie, that the text scroll in the beginning of the movie was talking about. But when you see the doctor do it, you're like, oh shit, anybody could be a zoonoid. Okay. So the doctor tries to defend himself against the goons, and of course, the head goon turns himself into his zoonoid form and just outright crushes the doctor. Crushes his ass.
No chance. This
Right.
man got beat up and was laughed at how bad he was getting beat up.
Yeah, they did him kind of dirty. So he dies, but before he dies, he actually was able to stow away the Guyver unit, which Mark Hamill was waiting for the doctor to meet him. And as he was waiting for the doctor to meet him, he looks down from where he's waiting at the meeting spot, and he sees the doctor, essentially getting killed by the Zoonoid goon squad. This is kind of what kicks the movie off. Mark Hamill essentially started a chain reaction, and it leads him to find the doctor's daughter, Mitski. Mitski is in a martial arts class. She's hanging out. Looks like she does some practicing there. And there's this one guy there who sucks real bad. He sucked real, like it's almost like he doesn't pay attention to shit. Like he doesn't really know the moves that he's doing. He's garbage. El Garbaggio. This is our main character, Sean.
Like,
Yeah.
This movie isn't good to be summarized because it's like an action sci-fi movie where there's like really big moments, really good moments, really sad. There's a very sad moment when he
Cockroach.
that I was thinking the other one where he got killed.
That was actually something I wanted to touch on with this movie in general.
Does that
if
happen?
if you're a fan of the show, if you're a fan of Guyver, at least that first like big arc, the big arc from when he gets the suit all the way to when he gets to Kronos and has to escape out of Kronos, like that whole transition with his dad and all that cool shit.
Wow.
Hmm?
I didn't see any of that shit.
Nah. There's characters missing. There's all kinds of shit going on that like isn't in this movie. But I'd like to. I would like to. I'll say this. I'll say this first. The movie itself has A plus costume. This movie itself has A plus costume design. Like you don't get costume design like this today at all. This was, in my opinion, it was on par with the OG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. It's on par with like stuff like Bill and Ted. Some of the movies, not quite Species, The special effects, the costume design, I think is as good as Aliens. I think it's as good as Predator. I think some really stellar costume design in this movie. Um, however, however, it had like a B movie budget. Uh, the way it was directed, the way it was filmed, even I think it was. I think that's what makes this a bad movie. I think the dialogue, the written dialogue, was kind of meh, kind of lackluster. I think the way it looks is kind of lackluster overall, and the main character. I mean, honestly, he's not really that important unless he's the fucking Guyver.
He could be average Joe Blow anybody.
Yeah, like unless he's transformed, he's not really shit. And then like he uses Aikido, and he looks like a wannabe Steven Seagal walking around the set every time he's fighting. With his little hands swinging.
What was the
The stance he was
what was
taking?
the stance?
It was like a defensive counter stance. Yeah, like you're made to counter people with that stance that he kept using. So
All
when
right.
it comes to like the show, the anime itself, a lot of the bigger beats of the show were implemented into this movie. Um, Specifically, Steve, I ain't got a problem spoiling anything. You had any questions about what happened in the movie that may or may not have happened in the anime?
Well, if you say the movie was like you said 3 arcs or 2 arcs?
It's the first big arc.
It's the first.
The
real,
first real, because it's like one real big arc in the beginning. Because I mean, you could break it up into pieces if you want, but at the end of the day, it's one continuous like arc journey. Even by the end of the series, it's still just it's hard to define like that. Like I guess you could define it through like what bosses he fights. So
Does he show all his power in the first one? In this first movie? Because the biggest thing I saw was his chest beam, but that was like in the 3rd episode of the movie or the show.
absolutely not. They don't show all his power. Um,
I did like how he could regenerate from nothing.
Mhm.
That was pretty fucking cool. But
Yeah. That scene was worth it in the live action movie to redo. I think.
So it happened in anime too?
Yeah. And it happened very similarly. Very but for a much different ordeal. Like the action itself was very similar, and it was like, like this movie had a bunch of nods to the actual what's the word I'm looking for here? To the actual source material. It had a lot of nods to it. It paid its respects. It just the movie somebody else should have directed it. Somebody else should have filmed it.
So this is an American movie.
Yeah.
This is an American movie.
Good old fashioned Hollywood did it again.
Hollywood did it again.
But comparatively to some of the other movies we've seen Hollywood just completely fuck over, this one, in my opinion, is one of the better. I think I know it's head and shoulders above Dragon Ball Evolution.
Even more, they have more money in they have more money. It was a later movie that it was like what, 2008, I think. Whatever,
Probably.
27, 2007, something like that. I don't fucking know. Yeah, absolutely. But was this movie worth it? Was this for me to watch an hour and 31 minutes because Mark Hamill had to bury this son of a bitch because there's no way you can find this on streaming sites.
Oh no.
This was like we had to find a bootleg.
You either buy it on Amazon or nefarious websites that send you to other nefarious websites that send you to affiliated websites that have nefarious material on them to find this fucking movie. This movie's so fucking buried.
And you had to watch it with a time lapse. Like it was like an old like kung fu flick.
Yeah, there was we got a very bootleg version of it. I've seen the movie for real before.
And the funny thing is, the actual movie came out great. The voice was horrible.
Yeah, the voices were off.
All I can think about watching this movie is, for a person that isn't a part of the anime like culture,
Mhm.
it's a B movie superhero, or it's a superhero B movie.
I can see
Is
that.
the right
I
word?
could totally see that.
Like, people can still get behind on this if it was just better laid out. Like, this
Yeah.
whole movie felt not rushed, but it wasn't made right. Just watching this movie, it felt like
I don't know enough about movie directing and the technical terms to say exactly what was done wrong, but upon watching it, upon seeing this movie, you can see it. You can see shit.
And don't put a poster with Mark Hamill right beside the Guyver, and
Oh yeah, they faked the front. They would you say catfished?
they catfished you in the theater. They were like, "Yeah, Mark Hamill
Is the Guyver.
nope." He like no, he wasn't. He like not even a little bit. What were you doing? Even if he was like Luke Skywalker, and he still could have. It was a darker tone anyway. The movie had a darker tone anyway.
Mark Hamill and
he could have still been the hero.
And our young lady that played Mitski, they were the best actors in the movie. Everybody else was off their fucking rocker. We had the guy from The Hills Have Eyes, the bald-headed, crazy-looking guy. And we had Jimmy Walker. Jimmy motherfucking Kid Dynamite Walker from Good Times. We had real actors and Mark Hamill in this movie. And of course we had, a bunch of, I don't want to call them no names, but I'm going to say lesser known actors and actresses in the movie. Everybody else acted fucking wacky. Even our final villain, he was like a fucking Looney Tune. He wasn't a person.
Like a Saturday morning cartoon villain more than an actual villain.
Right. It was like
for a serious sci-fi movie.
It was like they told the actor, "Hey, you're going to be the boss of a corporation. Nobody can stop you. You do a shit ton of cocaine, and
it wouldn't be cocaine. He's just off his rocker.
Why is he off the rocker? Why is he smelling people's gym socks? This motherfucker's crazy. He never smelled anybody's gym socks. He just looked like the type.
Because he's got power, man. He's got power over everybody.
He's over here turning people like you're a whack job. You do a ton of coke and you're super powerful and everybody listens to you. Go play that role. They didn't they didn't tell him who Richard Gere was. And it shows. It shows in that actor. Like, if you recall ever watching the Street Fighter live action movie, Raul Julia, aka Gomez from Addams Family, God rest his soul. When he played M. Bison, he played motherfucking M. Bison. He did whatever research he could and played a character that does pay respect to M. Bison.
Even though it was a bad movie?
Yeah, it was a bad movie. Again, it was like the direction and the dialogue fucked that movie up. And it feels like the same with Guyver, except for direction, dialogue, and actual filmography. It just doesn't come together there. Those amazing suits are kind of sort of wasted in a movie like this.
Absolutely. I'll agree with you with the I'll say it again. The effects, and costumes and the makeup, A+. Like, whoever did that shit made it right. Whoever was like over that did it right. They disrespected it with the movie. The movie did not land.
They tried so much too to they tried so much to get so much shit right, and it still just kind of fell flat. Like when the Guyver fights, you see him puffing out that steam. That's something that he does in the show. And of course, it looks fucking amazing in anime. It looks incredible in anime, you know?
It looked good in the movie?
Yeah.
I understood what was happening.
You get it, but it was like, pss, pss, pss. That's a little bit of, it wasn't the, it wasn't that coming through,
Well, I've never.
I hear you.
So
It's intimidating. It's the Guyver character, the man in the Guyver suit, the Guyver unit is made to look intimidating. It's actually supposed to scare you sometimes, and he's on your side. Like, he's kind of a horrifying creature at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, the Guyver isn't just like, "Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood Aikido using Guyver. Here, I'm just gonna just gently throw you." No, like, the Guyver's ripping your fucking arms off, slicing you in half, like blowing you away with the chest cannon, the charged particle cannon. The Guyver is a madman.
I have witnessed the chest beam because watching the 3 episodes I did watch, they showed a lesser
Zoonoid.
Zolonoid. They showed a lesser Zolonoid doing a beam and barely like scratching a wall in a building, and then the Guyver just pulls out like a beam can like Iron Man and just like destroys half the wall with the Zolonoid just gone. And, like you see the feet,
Blows it away.
You see the feet. Like it's just like his legs.
How you like that for your first Kamehameha? Fuck knocking a car over.
Nothing can beat the Kamehameha.
Gallic gun.
Go fuck yourself. Watching it, was this your second time watching it?
This movie's third or fourth.
Do you get any more enjoyment out of it? Does it bring like
for me? It brings up two things for me. One, the anime, which I absolutely adore, and two, oh god, and two, the reason why I enjoy the anime, the second movie, The Guyver, Dark Hero. Every time I see The Guyver, I always think of The Guyver, Dark Hero. I always think of that movie. That movie is by far the superior. It has its own little story, so like you can't get mad about it not following, fucking canon. And it takes place on a solo adventure with the Guyver, and some shit he's getting into. And I can't even begin to try to spoil it. Like, honestly, I'm getting excited thinking about the movie. Like, I'm like, I want to see that shit again. And we have it on our schedule, and it's the only reason why we're even watching this one.
No, it's to watch the whole series.
I mean, don't get you say that shit, right? But for me personally, I cannot watch the series again and just totally enjoy the second movie and be like, I've seen the series before, no big deal.
The movies,
that movie for me is the bee's knees. Like, I saw Dark Hero first, and then saw
The Guyver.
and which made me go watch the anime. And I was like, because the first Guyver movie was so bad, and I didn't realize that I had seen Guyver 2. I knew I had seen The Guyver, but I didn't realize it was Guyver the Dark Hero. So when I finally I was like, I want to watch that Guyver movie again. That shit was cool. I looked it up and saw this Mark Hamill catastrophe, and was like, I was watching it, and I was like, did this movie suck the whole time? Like, do I just have bad memory, like good memories of a shitty movie? And after I finished watching it, I noticed on my Nefarious website that there was a Dark Hero, and I was like, another shitty movie. I ain't got nothing to do. Let me click on. I was like, oh, this is the fucking movie. This is the fucking movie. Jesus. Oh my God. Like, I was so relieved. I was like, how the fuck did we get here? So, and then same Nefarious website, there it was right there. It was like The Guyver, the anime. And I was like, that's not a fucking anime. Is it? So I clicked on it and was like, oh, this is the truth. This is where it's really, really at. So, I mean, you had to watch The Guyver with Mark Hamill to get to The Guyver Dark Hero, to get to The Guyver anime.
So, was The Guyver so bad that they how did that happen? Like, if it was a, just imagine if the Guyver, like the first one with Mark Hamill, was good. Do you think Dark Hero, whatever, would have ever happened?
You know, they like to make part twos and part threes of shitty movies. Sharknado and Friends.
I think that's a joke.
Birdemic. What shitty movies, right?
There was 5 scary movies.
Right. And I mean, they stopped being funny after the second one. You know?
I'll give you the third one.
Now, of course you'd give me the third one. I mean, but like there's plenty of great movies out there that got a part 2. I mean, we got like 5 Lethal Weapons. You know,
I watched the third one, Lethal Weapon.
We got 9 Terminators.
I think after the second one was all right.
So I mean, and we also don't have another Dragon Ball or another Avatar: The Last Airbender from M. Night Shyamalan. I know that they're making another one, and it might be cool this time if somebody with a brain fucking direct. And you know, this Guyver movie was better than Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though it was prettier, and it did also try to tell the story. Like it stuck to some of the same big beats. However, they purposely got names wrong. The action was super duper subpar considering how much it cost to make the fucking movie. Guyver, I believe, stands head and shoulders above Avatar: The Last Airbender as well. Even though this is another bad movie, I think if you were to put it in the pantheon of bad movies, I think it would sit like it would be like in the top 10 good bad movies, I think, in my opinion.
I'm telling you, man, I think we should make a tier list of like the worst anime or comic book adaptations.
We might have to do that because apparently they have also made, I just learned this shit today. Apparently they made a Crying Freeman live action, and I'm going to have to watch it.
No, don't.
I have to.
You said I would like that. No one likes that.
I'm going to have to watch the live action Crying Freeman.
All right, let's get back on track.
We're on track with these shit movies.
Like this is what we're getting at, ladies and gentlemen. The Guyver is a great anime, and I'm ready to see it. How Kadawfi has explained it, that the Guyver is the bee's knees of some good ass, I'm guessing, dark-ish anime.
Yeah, like I don't think this is considered like a shonen. I think this is considered a seinen. When you get down into it, you know, it's not about the power progression. It's a little bit about the power progression, but it's not like shonen-esque. It's more dark, more adulty, more gritty, a lot more bloody. They don't really relax on the blood in the Guyver.
What was it, like PG-13?
The movie?
The movie.
I think so.
Like, enough, and they had a little bit of blood.
There's a little bit of blood. They had some little bit of killing.
Even Mark Hamill. You know, Mark Hamill probably he got the worst. He actually got the worst. If you think about it,
that's what he gets for being top billing. What with the worms and Men in Black? K Java. The worms.
I don't remember
the worms that drank coffee.
I remember the worms. I don't know who was. Like, what are you asking?
That's what Mark Hamill looked like.
No, you were right about the movie, but he was the giant cockroach.
The giant cockroach,
but just a little smaller. what like Men in Black? I think we talked about it like 8 years afterwards. He was 8 years too early. That was bad.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
Like, out of all, we praised all the costumes and everything, even the Guyver suit, even though it kind of looked a little small on the main character. Could have beefed him up a little bit. Jesus Christ. But
Solid Snake looks good in his.
I bet they put some padding in that motherfucker to make him a little stronger. But yeah, Mark Hamill got like the shit end of the stick. Even you were saying like he wanted to be a serious role, kind of a cool movie, and then got done like that. That
I
that
mean, you know,
that's why he buried it.
had
That's exactly why he buried it.
he had a dark scene in the movie. You know, he got to really flex his acting chops, and again, he was one of the better parts of the movie. Like when he was one of the better actors of the movie. You really didn't get like a whole lot of like acting though. You got like a lot of you got some action scenes, some walking, a little bit of dialogue. Just,
Where's your father?
yeah, just kind of some shit
What?
happening, you know.
Did your father tell me? Did Did your father tell
I
me?
don't did he?
Did he?
I don't know. Did he?
Did he? Like, yeah, this whole movie, it could have been a music video, dog. Like, they didn't have no dialogue in this whole fucking movie that kind of little bit made any sense. The action was good, even though he was always in a weird ass stance. He got his shit kicked in.
It was a very ugly stance.
When he finally did get the Guyver. Why put it on your face? Like, why was it like that?
He fell down and he landed on his face.
The whole,
Like he landed face down on the Guyver unit, and it started its shit. You saw how it kind of was in the anime. Like he just kind of got near it, and it was like, "Ah, motherfucker, I got you."
No, he got thrown into. He was thrown into the river, or lake,
and he got near it, and it snatched him.
All I remember is he was getting out of the lake, and the Guyver suit was on him. Anyway, whack ass movie. Why was there so much comedy in it? Like,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, there was just too much. There was a
lot of 90s in that movie.
The transitions. The whole
fucking Batman transitions?
Yes. Like, what the fuck is that?
Again, poor movie making decisions.
I'm telling you, it was A-tier money. I'm guessing they spent it on Mark Hamill and the costumes.
Yeah.
Because the whole rest of the movie was a B movie. Bad transitions, bad act. Like,
I don't even know if the music was any good.
I felt like it was just basic.
And I know that final scene against the big boss. Look, I'll go ahead and spoil it in this movie because this ain't how the kick-ass show goes. The big boss, Richard Gere, turns into a gargantuan, like, arachnid monster thing inside of a science lab, and the Guyver has to defeat it. It's ugly. I mean, it's another cool costume, but it's ugly. It's big as shit. Big puppet thing. It's just, this movie's only worth watching for a good laugh.
A good laugh.
Like, for a good laugh, or to remind you that there's a better Guyver movie and or a better television show or manga to take a look at. Which, by the way, with the television show, they remastered it. I've seen both of them. I haven't decided which one I like better still.
So I'll say this. Thank you for making this shit movie to hopefully have a greater movie with Solid Snake in it. I hope it's badass, man. I hope it is. Because Mark Hamill got done dirty. This
wasn't Mark Hamill's best outing. This costume team, however, I'd like to know where the hell else they went on to, and to see like if I've seen any more of their movies, like if I've been dazzled and impressed by any more of their movies, because they rock and rolled on that one. I'd like to see what else they put together.
That's a pretty bad movie, man.
That's some bad hat, Harry.
This is like we're reiterating it over and over again, but this is a pretty bad movie if we gotta talk about the costumes.
I mean, but that's like the best part of the movie. Like, in all honesty, there's so much that they try to do, like with Mark Hamill's cockroach scene. That's because they eliminated Sean Show's father, and they also eliminated his best friend. Mark Hamill kind of played two roles And then there's like a whole nother dude that just doesn't exist in this movie. Like without him, the Guyver doesn't quite get as far. Like especially getting into Kronos, it wasn't quite what they showed. There's more to that story, and there's more types of enemies. Of course, they're not going to show all 70 different types of monsters that the Guyver has to fight leading up to his battle at Kronos. And they did have a pretty cool variety. Though they were kind of accurate to what the characters look like in the show. Especially the woman, the redheaded woman that turned into a little furry monkey thing.
Yeah.
Very accurate to one of the monsters in the show. And Jimmy Walker's monster had to have big ass soup coolers, aka his lips. Because Jimmy Walker's known to have big lips. It's one of his traits. And so his monster also had to share those big ass soup coolers. Soup coolers. There you go. I just taught you a black guy word. Anyway. I don't really have much else to say about this movie. Other than it just excites me to watch something better.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy the next movie and the series. I hope you guys enjoy the series if you actually watched it before, because I've heard it's really, really good. But don't look out for this movie. We watched it for you to not watch it. There you go. Boom. We helped you out.
Now I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it and tell me what you thought of it.
So suffer.
I want you to. It's not suffering. This is not suffering.
This is suffer.
This isn't like look here. Thousands and millions of people have sat and watched The Room.
What the fuck is The Room?
The Room, that Tommy Wiseau movie with it's like the worst acted, fucking worst written, worst directed movie on the planet.
What are you talking about?
You've never heard of it? The Room. With the long haired, the long dark haired guy, and he doesn't speak English for real. You've never heard of this? Well, look here. That is the worst movie on the planet, legitimately. And millions of people have watched it. The shit's been re-released in theaters, and people go to theaters and watch it and giggle and laugh and quote the little raggedy ass movie because it's raggedy and it's whack. The Guyver is head and shoulders above that.
Tommy
Wiseau. I don't know how to spell it.
It's a comedy romance?
Yeah, all right. It's only a comedy because we've made it a comedy, laughing at it. And I say we because I do take, I'm human. I'm part of America, and I've never seen it.
Oh, I've seen memes off it, but
I've seen 10 or 15 minutes of it. That time they played it on Cartoon Network and didn't tell nobody they was gonna play it on Adult Swim. Like you get on and the TV says you about to watch motherfucking Family Guy or Futurama or some shit, and this movie's on and you're waiting for the commercial to go off, and it's still on, and you're like, boy, this is a terrible commercial, and then you realize it's a movie, and this movie's been going on for 30 minutes now, and you're sitting here waiting for it, the commercial to go off, and it's just this terribly acted fucking, just horrible fucking movie. But millions of people watch it every year because it's hilarious. It's ironic. Guyver's a fucking masterpiece compared to that shit.
I don't have no dog in this fight.
Oh. Any final thoughts, Liquid Gold?
Why'd you lie? Why did you lie? Why? Why, Hollywood? Mark Hamill on the front.
They had to get their money.
Boosted Mark Hamill, my ass. My ass.
They had to get their money, cuz.
What my final thought is, don't look for this movie because you won't find it.
You can buy it on Amazon.
For $44.
You can buy it, though.
Fuck that.
It's a treasure. It's a national treasure now.
No, it's not. Fuck that. A liquid gold verified. Fuck that.
And in 100 years from now, after Mark Hamill finally passes at the tender age of 175, I don't know how old Mark Hamill is. This movie is going to become worth billions of dollars.
Billions.
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 Billions. Every time an actor dies too early, they release like it's almost like they've always done a shitty movie right before they die. And now like this movie is like their last known piece of legacy. And this is what you have to go off of with them. And it's also the one that's worth like a lot of money. So if Mark Hamill stays on the up and up, and by the time he passes away, it won't be his last shitty movie that we remember him for. It'll be the Guyver. His first shitty movie.
I'm ready to check out the second movie. You've hyped this thing up. I hope it's good, even though you lied about Bio Booster Mark Hamill.
I didn't lie.
You lied.
I didn't lie. The movie lied.
Kadawfi Crush lied, ladies and gentlemen.
I did no such thing.
Yes, he did. The anime.
Oh, the anime is gonna be thrown like a fastball. That shit is going to be amazing. That shit is going to be incredible. Like you man.
Is there anything that you are waiting for me to see in this anime that we check out?
Yes. Without spoiling it too much, I'm ready for you to see how the Zoonoids actually get down, like how many different types. I'm excited for you to see how Kronos actually works. I'm excited for you to see the Guyver get fucking savage.
Like I asked in the Kung Fu flick, does this shit get bloody?
You remember Ogre Slayer?
Yeah.
2 times the gore.
No.
Yes.
No.
Bro, there's guts and blood and buckets of blood all over the place and
the nurse's office, like there was like literal children dead. People getting eaten.
People aren't gonna get eaten, but there's gonna be pieces and parts and intestine and lungs and shit all over the place, man. I'm telling you.
Kadawfi, thank you for showing me Guyver, the Guyver with Mark Hamill.
Bio boosted Mark Hamill.
But never ever show me this dumb shit again.
Oh, we're gonna watch it next Christmas. I'm gonna like start having like my Christmas countdown with the Guyver movies and the Guyver TV show.
All right. Final thoughts.
Final thought with Kadawfi Crush. Watch the Guyver. Give it a shot. You actually might find some appeal to it, especially because it's crappy and we're telling you it's crappy. You might go, it's not so crappy. Fuck you. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, share, subscribe. You know you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And don't forget about fucking Spotify. I've been Kadawfi Crush.
And I've been Liquid Gold Steve.
I want y'all to remember to stay classy. And thanks for stopping by.
Was that bad?